in a country where a military general will consume their whiskey and wish somebody death and order for somebody's death, and that will happen in a country where a military general who is the son of also the president of that country and, tortures people on camera, it's not safe. Nobody is safe.
Exactly.
What do? Do we surrender and be slaughtered? No, we don't. We fight back.
Balimwezo, Balimwezo, Sato Mobona, Balimwezo, Sato Mobotani, Balimwezo, Sato Mokana, Balimwezo, Sato Mosa, Balimwezo, Sato Monana, Balimwezo, India, Balimwezo, India, Erias Lukwago, Balimwezo, India, Balimwezo, India, Erias Lukwago, Balimwezo, India, 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 Balimwezo, India.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of the America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful time. My name is Mordecai Marissa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Marissa Live. Please excuse my voice. I've been losing my voice for some reason. I think I screamed too much last night. And this is what is happening. But I wasn't going to shut down my broadcast because of my voice. So we're going to fight our way through this, and I hope you don't mind. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, the presidential candidate for the National Unity Platform, who was cheated in the 2026 presidential election, is speaking to the world once again. I think he's been interviewed by the East African, and this is what he had to say. But before we even go into what he's got to say, this is abnormal. This is a presidential candidate. This should be the president of Uganda. He won an election only to be cheated. Now, of course, you're going to land on a few Museveni sympathizers who are going to engage in twisting themselves like pretzels to justify the lawlessness, the impunity, the violence that we saw. They will tell you, oh, Bobi Wine didn't win because of ABC. They know for sure that the election wasn't free and fair. They know for sure that those results do not represent the will of the Ugandan people. So do not engage in that kind of conversation. But what should break your heart? It is what you see. A presidential candidate has to wear camouflages, has to be in tinted cars because he's afraid to be seen somewhere, noticed, and then the next move would be getting abducted, tortured, and probably being killed. All at the behest of our commander of the defense forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It is wrong. Do not normalize. And that's why you're going to see many, the so-called intellectuals on social media, on TVs, on radio stations, the folks like Andrew Mwenda and the ilk, they'll be telling you, trying to normalize the abnormal. This is abnormal. Do not normalize this. Let's go on and listen to what he has to say.
In Uganda, nobody is safe. In Uganda, in a country where there's no rule of law, in a country where a military general will consume their whiskey and wish somebody death and order for somebody's death, and that will happen in a country where a military general who is the son of also the president of that country and, tortures people on camera, it's not safe. Nobody is safe.
Exactly.
What do? Do we surrender and be slaughtered? No, we don't. We fight back.
Exactly. That's what we've got to do. It is fighting back. And fighting back can have so many ways. I know fighting has negative connotations. That doesn't necessarily have to be violence. It is resistance. For religious people, they usually turn to God, or spiritual people. They kneel on their knees and pray, get on their knees and pray. That's fighting back. Others organize and mobilize and strategize ways of how we can take on the criminal regime. So we have to fight back. We don't give up. We don't be like, okay, Muhoozi and Museveni were appointed to be our emperors and they can do whatever they please, and we shouldn't raise our voice or even say, well, come on. As former president of Nigeria, right here, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, he's the man who endorsed, under the African Union, he's the man who endorsed who rubber stamped the 2026 election results on a day where Bobi Wine's deputies were being abducted and tortured and up to now disappeared. That man, Ebele Goodluck, who came to Uganda as an observer alongside his counterparts, they said the election was free and fair and congratulated Museveni. Do we fold our hands and be like, okay, let's ignore? Absolutely not.
As this is happening right now, and an election just got rigged in Uganda, the East African community is watching, the African Union is watching. When a presidential candidate is threatened and a chief of defense forces, a head of the military, issues instructions to murder citizens and nobody speaks a word, it is disturbing. But this is not just a problem of Uganda, it's a problem of East Africa, of Africa, of the world. We were told that, injustice somewhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What happens in Uganda slowly started happening in Kenya, in Tanzania, and other countries, and it will continue happening.
Exactly. It's going to continue because the cancerous disease we have is Yoweri Museveni, who doesn't believe in the rule of law, in democracy, in the respect of human rights, in constitutionalism. He doesn't. And not until we rise up as a people and be like, this is wrong, we need to make as much noise as we can. Don't listen to cynics and naysayers and skeptics because they say, you cannot do it. And then you're like, okay, if I cannot do it, then what are you going to do? Are you deciding to become a slave? They won't say no. Sorry, they won't say yes. But even though they won't say yes, they won't give you any action they're taking to make sure they're not slaves in their own countries. Okay, that's Bobi Wine for you, ladies and gentlemen. So in other news, I'm going to make sure this one is a little short. Balimwezo, Ronald is leading in polls. We have been able to see where he's been. They were counting votes, and Balimwezo is taking a very, very, very early lead, despite of the fact that it's been a complete low voter turnout. And I'll explain here. Watch here as Balimwezo seems to be winning here. This is for if you're watching outside of Uganda. This is an election for the Lord Mayor of Kampala City, the capital city of Uganda. And Balimwezo is a candidate who was endorsed by Bobi Wine, and he belongs to the National Unity Platform, a political party Bobi Wine leads as president. It's Balimwezo on every polling station. Okay, let me go on another polling station where Balimwezo was again taking the lead. Watch here with me.
Balimwezo. 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 Erias Lukwago. Balimwezo. Balimwezo. Erias Lukwago. Balimwezo. 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 Balimwezo, Balimwezo, Balimwezo,
Beatrice, the wife of Norbert Mao. Balimwezo is taking a lead, and I've seen her. I think it was one of the people on Bobi Wine's press team who happens to be Owomukisa, and she made a comment that Balimwezo had won Mbogo, a stronghold that you would think is owned by Erias Lukwago. Lukwago's stronghold.
Nze kasitanda byenga ingini ya wangu de wa Mbogo. Ngenze kutali center. Abasira mbagabye tibe.
Now, you have to understand the context here. Balimwezo is a born-again Christian. Lukwago is a Muslim. And Mbogo is predominantly a Muslim place. Many Muslims are there. And you'd think that they're voting for Erias Lukwago. But she's reporting and saying, hey, Balimwezo, a born-again Christian, has been leading in that race. Amazing. Amazing stuff over there. Okay. If I think if there's a time, I think I need to give you a comment here of Balimwezo and Lukwago. They're all talking about electoral malpractices witnessed somewhere. Let's go and watch here.
Yes, it has come to my attention. And I really wonder how you can mix up ballot papers. And it has happened in Gulu. But we also heard that there was pre-taking of ballot papers still in Gulu. We are still investigating, and we shall conclude this. I want to warn all those that want even to procure the other forms, and some of them still the other forms from our agents. They are doing a mistake. We should allow the people of Kampala to vote the right people that they desire, other than you stealing their votes. It's unfortunate. And this has been done. In most cases, there has been connivance between those that are presiding over with those that are contenders.
Okay. He is alleging electoral malpractices. Let's go and listen to what Erias Lukwago had to say, so you realize that complaints are not coming from one side. And how do we fix this? I don't know. The entire, first of all, the election, the electoral body, the Uganda Electoral Commission, needs to be disbanded and start afresh from the ground. I mean, it's a complete clown show at that Electoral Commission. They're not in position to organize a free, fair election. Transparency isn't one of the features they have.
Low voter turnout, which of course you can attribute to voter apathy, public despondence, and frustration. Many people are disillusioned with the electoral processes, considering what happened during the presidential election, the brutality that graced the whole exercise, the mayhem which is still going on as we speak today, the violence, and many people being harassed, people on tenterhooks, they're on pension. So it's a situation which is really very, very unpalatable and not at all conducive with the civic exercise of this nature. And of course also the issue of the faulty machines, the BVV kits. They also, of course, they accounted for the low voter turnout during the presidential election. And today they have totally abandoned them with no explanation. Because we thought if there was a problem at that time, a week down the road, they ought to have fixed it if it was temporary. But it would appear they are not bothered at all.
So you realize that both are raising complaints about the process itself. What do you think? Please go on and write in the comment section, and I would truly, truly appreciate. I'm afraid Erias Lukwago is most likely to win. Sorry, to lose. Is most likely to lose. And, if there's a reason Erias Lukwago is going to lose this election, we can go back and remember this day. If there's a day Erias Lukwago lost this election, was this day.
Muleta tasobola kudduka misinde naye agambe kibuga alhamdulillah kitute. Kuba bino byagguluba tudduse emyala ne tugibuka ne Lukwago nga lwaniramu abantu b'ekibuga. Kakati anadduka atya?
This was mocking a disabled man. Yes. Balimwezo lost his leg in an accident. But you cannot use that as a talking point to reduce him in front of the... We have to realize one thing. I don't know where these people go for public speaking lessons or lectures. When you make those kind of personal attacks, you have to realize that you've got disabled people in your congregation. You don't know. You didn't go through them to know who is attending. What if one of the people you're actually addressing is a disabled man or woman? Does that mean they are not able? They're unable to... I mean, there's a very famous saying, disability is not inability. They cannot work because of probably they have only one arm. And the moment he made those very, very dangerous remarks, Balimwezo started making those, using it as winning by sympathy to a certain extent.
What you have seen, don't you know? Not them. It's not Balansi, the two of us. Bananga Saluano, the Malabanet, Nekirakia, Dimusata Mulema, Wakugurukumu, Wakugurukwange, Kwabako, Ratinia.
Yeah, so that's what happened. The moment he mentioned that. And then if there's another day where we look at the loss of Erias Lukwago, it could be attributed to the endorsement from this man who he endorsed a myriad of candidates in the past election only for all of them to lose. And then he came here and endorsed Erias Lukwago. I mean, if your name is stained with corruption, there's no way you're going to endorse. Every person is going to be like, okay, you're being endorsed by Mbogo. Something might not be right.
Kampala nga DF. Twawa. Umulodi Erias Lukwago buwagizi. Yes, tuusazangamu. Tulowooza nti ali mu kifaananyi kituufu. Naddala akavuyo k'ebyobufuzi kana kagenda maaso. Keraako ku bantu nga ddala obwongo busobola okukola.
And again, he's really bad at communicating. I don't know what happens to him. He can never address people without necessarily putting others down. Now, in his comments, like, we need someone with a functioning brain. You can endorse Lukwago without reducing other people. The man you're referring to as someone without a functioning brain has been a leader. He was voted by people. I mean, I don't know this man. You let me know what you think about the mind of Matthias Mpuga. Sickening stuff all the time. Every time he's given a microphone, he stoops so low. He punches below the belt. Very unbecoming with the level of intelligence, the level of experience in leadership, and as an orator. I believe he's a wonderful communicator. But what happened to him? All the time, every time now, since he was caught in a corruption scheme alongside three NRM commissioners and the Speaker of Parliament. Since that day, his oratory skills have deteriorated in abysmal ways you cannot imagine. You let me know what you think. That's it for now. I just wanted to give you an update. I'll be back here. Let me go and try to fix this voice that is making me sound like a frog. It's really hoarse. I can feel it. All right. Thank you so much for listening, fighting your way through this. My name is Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and I'll be back here. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.